Hello, Patriots. It's June 12th already. Full moon tonight, by the way. Let me play a little video while the people come on in here. If you missed the video, check it out on the replay. And pardon the sirens and stuff in the background. There's something going on, who knows what. And we might be interrupted by a siren here. There's always something going on. Always something.
Between Trump and Elon, I'm going to explain the genius of that to you. It's all about the big, beautiful bill, which is actually a giant pile of fucking deep state horse shit and spending.
Oh, yeah. Language warning.
Elon is right about everything he said about it. And here's what's going on with that bill. Because nobody understands how the fucking government works, right? The House voted on it. They passed it. Now it goes to the Senate. The Senate can amend it, edit it, take things out, send it back to the House for final vote, and then it goes to the president's desk for approval. It is right now in the Senate and can be edited. Elon is pointing out all the fucking problems with the big, beautiful bill that nobody wanted to fucking talk about. Trump couldn't talk shit about it because it's his bill, right? Like, then the other Republicans will fucking, oh, we don't have Trump leading us, and blah, because they're a bunch of fucking pussies. So Trump and Elon sit down there like, how can we get everybody to talk about all the bullshit that needs to get pulled out of the big, beautiful bill? I don't know. I got an idea. Let's troll the fuck out of them. Who's a better fucking troll than Trump and Elon? Like, they're masters of it. And so, yeah, they threw it down. And then it drug out even fucking the Epstein shit. That shit is fucking hilarious, right? So now all we need to do is put pressure on the Senate to take all the bullshit out. Like that debt ceiling cap has to get dropped. There is a provision in that big, beautiful bill that says the states cannot even regulate AI for 10 years, like where the data centers go, how much electricity they use. They can shove a fucking data center right in the middle of your goddamn residential neighborhood right now, the way that bill is written. Like, are you kidding me? No regulation on AI? How about go fuck yourself? I don't need to fight robots. It's like nobody knows what Judgment Day is or has ever fucking heard of Skynet. Why the fuck are we doing that shit? And it goes on from there. Like, all the spending cuts that Doge enacted, Elon's right about all of it. All that needs to be cut out. It needs to go from the big, beautiful bill down to the fucking little, tiny, slim bill of budget cuts. Like, that's what we need to see of. No more of this bullshit spending. So, Senate, we are on to you. You know how this works. Clean that fucking bill up, or it's fucking primary season, motherfuckers. We gotta learn to fucking vote these cocksuckers out in primaries. Massey's on this shit. Thomas Massey, he's fucking, listen to that dude. That dude is on this shit. Ron Paul, Rand Paul, those guys are on the shit. Like, Trump, Elon, well done, fellas. I like the way you fucking roll. For the rest of you, good luck. Long live this beautiful republic.
All right, there. Sorry about the warning.
Between Trump and Elon.
The language, I forgot that there was that bad language in there. But hey, man, that's a stream of consciousness right there. That's what's going on. That's the mockery that this Congress has been making out of our government all my life, okay? Elon, all right, so we're backing up. We're backing up, man. I haven't done a stream in like 10 days. A lot has happened this time, and we're just here documenting the demise of the Democrat Party. So we're going to have to back up here. Before we start talking about the protests, let's just go over the previous 4 days of what went on before the whole thing supposedly lit up in LA. Yeah, Elon and Trump got in the big tiff. The big, beautiful bill was in the Senate. And we got Massey and we got Rand Paul disputing things in that bill. And there is a ton of stuff to dispute that's in that bill, because the House of Representatives just loaded it up with as much pork as they could possibly cram into that thing. And sent it along to the Senate, you know, like we did our job after 3 vacations. And what did it, House of Representatives Mike Johnson said they worked on that bill for 15 months. Give me a break, man. Get real here, Congress, man. It was loaded with pork. Elon called it out. Trump can't say a bad thing about anything. He is all about the art of the deal. He's the grease that keeps the wheels turning on this whole operation, the whole MAGA philosophy operation of getting our government back, that we can have a real government and start addressing real problems in this country. But no, mainstream media, it just goes on and on and on. We will never get to the meat and potatoes until we get some Congress, until we get a Congress in there that works for we the people here. We still don't have that right now. But we got, all right, so I don't know where it's at right now with the Senate. They have not voted on it yet. And everything that guy just said is true, okay? They can edit it. They can send it back to the House of Representatives, who can then re-vote on it and then send it to Trump. It doesn't have to go back to the Senate after the Senate puts their modifications on it. And this is how the government is supposed to operate. But my God, it's agonizing watching these guys try to fight out of their paper bag, you know? All we're asking them is for some common sense, logical approach to running this country. And in the meantime, they just keep setting fires here and there and there. Literally. I mean, 6 months ago, we were watching areas of the country burn down and the water was turned off. For crying out loud. For crying out loud, man. So, we'll see what happens with that. We're just waiting. But in the meantime, we got this whole goofiness going on in this country. A couple other topics I wanted to do. We were talking about the auto pen a week and a half ago. That's nowhere to be found. Oh, this thing that's going on now in all the cities of America is sucking all the air out of the room. All right. All we can talk about now is protests. Okay. Where we got a president who had no idea what bills and promises and EOs were being signed with that auto pen there. And as an example for that auto pen, here it is, man. There's Joe Biden's signature before he was a vice president. There's Joe Biden's signature after he became president. Those are not the same dudes. Look at them. They are not even the same guys, man. Joe Biden's signature then, it doesn't even resemble the J.R. Biden Jr. signature on the right. This is just such a complete mockery, Patriots. And we've been trying to point this out for so long. So long, man. Where's another picture here we got of all the different Joe Bidens that there's been here? I mean, look at this, man. How many different people have played Joe Biden? And I was just watching the Joe Biden tripping up the stairs video again the other day. And my God, that looks like a Jim Carrey skit, doesn't it? I mean, they could just pay Jim Carrey however much money, put a Joe Biden rubber mask on his head and say, all right, go up the stairs and look like a complete idiot, you know? How are you doing, Patriots? Oh, it's so good. I'm sorry, I forgot to say hello to everybody. Carol Burton, Tina, and Trina, hugs. Hey, Michael Dolan and Cherie Nova. It's good to see you all. USA, what's up, Sean? Hot in Illinois. Yeah, it's hot here too. Boy, is it hot. Hello, Beverly. It's good to see you all, and thanks for stopping by and having our little conversation again. Hi, Debbie Robinson. All right, the chats are working. I hope the sound and the picture's okay for you guys. Looks like we got some good network here for a change. Hi, Diane Kelly. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, it's about 85 here, Carol. Hi, Priscilla. Oh, it's so good to see all you patriots. You guys are red, white, and blue, man. I love it. I love it. Our patriot family coming together. This is just amazing. And thank you all for the streamers that are keeping it together there with Tina and Gator Girl and Mag Americans and all the patriots that are keeping it together, man. First Amendment Media, Oreo Express, IRT, man, he's been filming the riots out in LA, just doing a great job. Took a rubber bullet to the gut the other day. My God, what's going on? But I'm going to try to get through all this stuff before we get to the riots here. So George Bush Jr. codified the auto pen usage. Prior to George Bush Jr., George W., there was no auto pen usage. And apparently he instituted it into law. I'm not sure what the law says that he signed, as he can sign bills with that. Trump doesn't take it, Trump signs everything with his hand. Right on, Tina, thanks. Hey, Tammy Green, caught me live, yep. I'm on before, well, I guess it is dinner time now. But, yeah, there's just so many of these different Joe Bidens around, man. And it's been something we've been talking about forever. Congress just believes like we don't have anything to say about it. But look how different all these people look, man. And I don't know what's going on. Supposedly we got a government. It's kind of looking like we don't for a while, man. And in the meantime, we got, let's see what happens with this big, beautiful bill. Trump is all chummy with Mike Johnson lately. They were just at a press conference earlier today. Trump just signed 3 actual bills, actual legislation today, finally, about the EV mandate, the electrical vehicle mandate that somebody signed with an auto pen during the last administration that said we were all supposed to have zero emissions vehicles by 2035. Well, Trump just shot that down with law, with the cooperation of the House and the Senate. And I think 30-something Democrats voted along with it in the House, and we even got a senator to vote along with that in the Senate to get that passed. So Trump just this morning, signed 3 actual bills which will become actual law in this country. The EV mandate is dead. That doesn't mean you can't buy an electric car. The electric car industry will continue on and compete in a capitalistic environment, as it should. You want to buy an electric car, go buy an electric car. It may suit you. It may not suit you. That's the whole thing. The government can't come in and say, you got to buy this. That's not what our government's all about here. And in the meantime, we got the whole Kash Patel and Dan Bongino thing. Kash Patel, with that look in his eyes, is going, I read the reports. Well, he did. He read all the reports that the FBI has. And then it turns out there's a special room that Comey had locked up at the J. Edgar Hoover building. And it's turning out that there is no evidence of the Epstein stuff, So the FBI, as we all been saying for a long time now, was nothing but a sweep-up operation to hide things. Apparently, Kash said there's prohibited access invisible files in the FBI. They hid the investigation from many investigations. Hillary Clinton, the Benghazi, the Haiti, the Epstein files, the Seth Rich laptop. On and on and on it goes. And the FBI would just come in, sweep up everything, collect all the evidence, and then lose it. So hopefully the NSA or the Department of Homeland Security or the DOJ, that they still have some of it somewhere. Yeah, we can get the Doge team to hack the files, Trina. That sounds like a good idea. Or we can get Tulsi Gabbard to come out and just say, here's where the FBI hid all that stuff, you know. These overlapping agencies, I can't imagine that they controlled all of them at the same time. But the FBI was definitely collecting and hiding evidence all along for the last 15 years, okay? At least that's my opinion. And I think we're all in the same boat on that one. Let's see what else has happened. Oh, that Kilmore Abrego Garcia guy, the Maryland dad that we brought down to the El Salvador prison, has been brought back to America. We had the activist judges trying to legislate from the bench, and he has been brought back to America and now faces charges here in America. They brought him back to Nashville and applied the charges to him there in Nashville. And lo and behold, the U.S. attorney working for the DOJ in Nashville, Ben Schrader, resigned. So there, we got rid of another one, man. Another stalwart that doesn't want to listen to the 77 million people that voted for Donald Trump and give him this mandate to clean up our country. Just, all these judges said, bring Garcia back home, bring him back home. Okay, we brought him home. Now he's going to face charges, get convicted, serve his time, and then we'll send him back home. So there you did a lot of great stuff there, Judge. Just made a complete mockery of our system here. And now it's just going to cost us more money. It's going to take more time. Justice delayed. Once again. What else happened? Trump blocked 13 countries from visiting America, like in the last a week and a half ago. And everyone's all in an uproar about that. There's judges that want to come in and say he can't do that. You know, when is this insanity going to end where we can actually take our country back, man? What's going on? Judge Jeannie Pirro, who is now the acting head attorney in D.C. Not too long ago, the guy, all right, so Judge Jeannie took this guy, Ed Martin's job, all right? Trump assigned Ed Martin to that position. I don't know who raised a stink about it, but Trump pulled his nomination, put Jeannie Pirro in there. And then Ed Martin was given a press conference where some libtard with a dog, literally on camera, walked up to him and spit on him, okay? And cussed them all out while all the cameras were rolling, okay? She was arrested, but then she was released, okay? So you can just walk up to and spit on the head attorney in District of Columbia and get released from prison after you get charged with the charges there, right? Jeannie Pirro revoked the release of the Ed Martin spitter, and Pirro is sending a message out that we are going to keep our patriots safe. You can't walk up and do this stuff. I think something just happened today with Kristi Noem, and a representative came in and started interrupting that whole press conference, and they ushered him out of the room, man. We got a nut job. All right, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why he's coming here to see what I got to say, right? Because you shouldn't listen to me. Dude has no life, or the chick has no life. We'll see. We don't know who it is. It's a faceless coward. And then we had Kash Patel with the black eye, the big flap with Elon and Trump. Elon has since then put out a tweet where he says he may have, he regrets some of the posts that he made about Trump. So they're making up. Trump is, smooth. He's just kind of ignoring the thing. He's paying attention to all the things that he's got to be doing now with the world politics and everything. World War III, lighting up in Israel and all that. So Trump doesn't have time to get into these little arguments with people. Trump has moved on. Elon is covering all his bases at his businesses that he owns. Back to Tesla. Hiya, Cora Shooter. I haven't seen you in a while either. God bless you all. Yeah, that's because this guy's got a job at YouTube, and he gets away with putting posts up. And when you check his channel, it says this channel does not exist. Yet there he is. He's there with a post, but he works for YouTube or something. And he's a little, just a greasy little troll. That's all he is. So we're thinning the ranks, man. The U.S. Attorney in Nashville, Brent Schrader, resigned. They're taking themselves out. They're self-deporting from our government because they can't take it anymore. What did we cover? Harmeet Dillon had, 100 attorneys walk out of their job. They're self-deporting out of our government, after... And then Doge is still carrying on, but they're just not front and center stage right now. Doge was granted access. They wanted to audit $4 trillion worth of checks that went out from the Treasury Department, and then a judge stepped in and delayed all that for a month or two. Now that's back on track. They're going to be looking at $4 trillion of checks with nothing written in the memo line on those checks. Who knows where that money went? They're just writing checks, man. And then Jeanine Pirro is trying to, make it known that we're going to keep our patriots safe, man. Kash Patel was on Joe Rogan's show the other day. And, there was a lot in that interview. That was a 2-hour podcast with Joe Rogan and Kash Patel. And I like it. I like it that these people are coming out and just having normal conversations with podcasters. Trump's doing the same thing. He's still talking to all these reporters and doing lots of interviews. He's not hiding like Obama and Joe Biden would do. They would go dark for a month at a time sometimes, man. I remember like 3 months going by where I was like, I haven't heard from Obama in 3 months, yet he's the president, right? Kash Patel in that podcast mentioned the fact that he got swatted. The head of the FBI got swatted, okay? So somebody made a phone call. I hope they're running all this stuff down, man. It's not too hard to figure out who's calling in a SWAT job, And in the meantime, all the trolls are trying to swat all of us. That's kind of what they're doing when they call your employer. And they say, oh, he did a podcast and he was drinking, or, they try to swat us through YouTube. And you see how effective that is, because I'm still around. We're all still around. Big D's still around. We're all still here, man. So all their work has amounted to nothing. I just found it amazing that Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, could get swatted, man. That's just amazing to me, unbelievable to me. And that you can manipulate a law enforcement agency that easily, It seems like there should be some type of a filter that a phone call should have to go to. So many Americans have gone through incredible and even lost their lives over swatting events and stuff like that. It just tears you up. It tears you up. So all this happens by the media being manipulated, okay? The media is compromised. It is an arm of this, whoever did the coup on our government. The media is their mouthpiece, and that they can control the narrative somehow. We got podcasters and we got social media accounts and stuff, but they're all the time they're using the mainstream media clips to discuss things, and I think that's a mistake. We just got to ignore these people, ignore the mainstream media. Their opinion means nothing, and let's just report on the news like people like Nick Shirley's doing and Angela Rose is doing. They're just going out and filming stuff, man, and showing us what is going on out there. So the reason that the mainstream media can do that, they all operate with FCC licenses. Our government doesn't let anybody just on television. But Obama rescinded the Smith-Mundt Act, which said you're not allowed to propagandize the country with your FCC license, right? Obama took that away. And I don't know why Trump hasn't reinstituted that, but there's more than one ways to skin a cat here, You take away their funding. USAID was funding PBS and NPR. That's been taken away, so their options are, dwindling. They're getting less and less. And if we got serious about it, RFK Jr. is out there. He is kicking butt right now, right? And if we get serious about this and don't allow the pharmaceutical companies to advertise on the propaganda networks, I think we would be defunding them even more, So there's many ways to go about this, man. And I know Trump is the guy to do it. He will do it when the time is right. It needs to be exposed more and more. More Americans are seeing the absolute lunacy to the way that most of the governments operate, most of our police forces operate. I mean, if something's not clear by now, the way these police forces are operating is a joke. It is an absolute joke. So hopefully more people are seeing that. We can take away the pharmaceuticals. Just you can't advertise on TV like the whole rest of the world is doing, right? I mean, these people, they brainwashed us during the COVID thing, man. This is the assassinated Japanese prime minister, and he didn't follow the World Economic Forum orders. He didn't mandate vaccines there in Japan. He sent 1.6 million doses back. Ooh, that must have pissed off them pharmaceutical companies. And then he made sure that his citizens had access to ivermectin. Does it make sense now why this guy got taken out? I mean, this is how serious they are. When you mess with their system, they will go to murder to take you out. They tried to take Trump out 2 times that we know of. I think it was many more times than that. But this guy saw the fallacy to these vaccines that were given out. RFK Jr. has actually hired Robert Malone, the inventor of the mRNA, and he has a position in the NIH right now. And that other guy, there's another guy that has been from the get-go telling us not to take those vaccines. And we're finding out all the health repercussions. We're finding out that vaccine wasn't even tested on people. They certified it to be given to pregnant women and children. And there was no testing done. All right, this is the CDC and the NIH, under the operation of the NIH, National Institute of Health. And we thought these people were experts. We wanted them in positions to advise us on what to do in such an instance, and they just lied to us. They lied right to our face. They have destroyed the trust that we have had in these agencies, and it's going to take a long time to earn that back. I mean, in hindsight, we can look back and say, here's what it should have been. While COVID was out, I was thinking, all right, we should be able to go to I went to the Pennsylvania Health Department website to see if they were at least putting information out about how to boost your immune system. The only thing I could find was how to have safe homosexual sex during the COVID outbreak. That was the only health advice the entire Pennsylvania Department of Health, under Rachel Levine here in Pennsylvania was putting out. They weren't telling you to get out in the sun. They told you to stay in your house. They weren't telling you to eat vitamin C or find ivermectin. They were just, the only thing that they would actually come out and tell you is how to have safe homosexual sex with somebody who might have COVID. I mean, that was 5 years ago, five and a half years ago, man. Unbelievable, man. Oh, here we go. This guy's still talking about the restoration movement. These people, I mean, keep posting, you numbskulls. Keep posting. Typing away, typing away. Promises made, promises kept. That's what's going on. And then once we get through this big, beautiful bill debacle, we're going to start scaling it down, man. The House of Representatives is going to start putting out smaller bills, single topic items on all the Doge cuts that they're finding. All that stuff is already in operation right now. But for right now, the Libtards are just trying to get us to focus on nothing but no kings. You know, this the protest of the week is the no kings thing. And they put out all this information. There are going to be no kings protests in every town in America, right? And you know what the right-wing media is saying? You know, they're putting their ads up on TV. You know, if we just ignore these people, they're gonna fizzle because they can't even decide on what they're protesting about. And Trump with the tariffs, man. I mean, if you're sick and tired of paying taxes, tariffs is the way to go, man. In May, the U.S. government brought in $22.3 billion in tariffs, okay? So at least that might have paid the interest payment on our $36 trillion debt. But, you know, at least he's bringing income in for our country with the tariffs. And we're looking for a new system because the old system sucks, man. This paying taxes, paying 30%, 40% of what you owe of your earnings into the government, it's got to end. We can't afford it, man. Things are getting too expensive to do that. And we're giving them the money, and then they're using that money against us. So it's just this big cycle. It's got to end. It's got to end. Yeah, I'm glad I live in the country too, Cora. Man, stay away from the cities. All right, and then in the meantime, while Trump's doing all this stuff and taking care of everything, putting out fires everywhere, he's building 2 flagpoles at the White House that are 100 feet tall. Hopefully those are going to be in place for Saturday. I hope to see them. That would be glorious if they're done. I know that they're building them already. But I think that's amazing. And then Trump just started talking about a ballroom. Ballrooms, man. This is where you entertain world leaders. The White House doesn't have a ballroom. And I think Trump needs a ballroom at the White House, man. I really do. I think that's a splendid idea. And I can't wait to see that. And I can't wait to see libtard brains explode when they name it Trump's Ballroom. There's a couple of podcasters, like I say, that aren't like just giving, aren't taking the libtard stuff and promoting it by recycling it and talking about it more and posting it on your sites. And that's Angela Rose and Nick Shirley. They are doing splendid jobs. And Taco Joe, man, with IRT Media and Oreo. Well, Oreo puts a lot of the mainstream media stuff on. I just can't stand watching it, man. I would much prefer to watch somebody who does a stream that doesn't put any mainstream media clips in it, whatsoever. We're ignoring them. They're done. They're history. We found them out. They're history. They're out of here. We're done, man. So stop putting them on your shows, man. Stop putting all the protest information on your shows and stuff. So here on the 14th of June, which is this Saturday, there is a huge celebration in DC, and I know a bunch of streamers are going to it. But they just put up, and Penguin 6, he's another guy that covers the White House. He's got a YouTube channel. He's been filming all the preparations that are going into setting up this 250th anniversary for the Army parade and extravaganza that's going on in DC. And that's really cool, man. I mean, they got tanks, they got helicopters, they got mobile artillery weapons, just kind of all sitting out by the monuments right now. But they put up 16 or 17 miles of fencing. And if you want to go to this, you're going to have to make a reservation, man. There's a festival, there's a parade at 2 p.m. and there's a festival prior to the parade that's starting at 8 a.m. They're going to have screening. I mean, you're going to have to walk through security. You're going to have to leave your little pocket knife out in the car. You probably won't be able to bring a Bic lighter in there. So, you know, if you can't bring your lighter in, you know. The 18 overlapping law enforcement agencies, if you bring this lighter into this, you know, you're probably going to get in trouble, or you won't get let in. But anyways, you got to go to this website, www.nsse.dc.gov. On there, you will find out all the little rules and about getting into the grounds where you're going to be allowed to watch this parade and participate in the festival. But you're not going to be able to bring this in. This is a no-no. I mean, you could do some serious damage with a little knife like this, man. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth getting into that part. I'm sure you'll be able to see all this from other parts of DC. And we'll be watching all the streamers that are there. They are paying $1,000 for people to fill the seats, actor websites. All right, I missed something here. Okay, Tammy, good idea. Good idea. The metal detectors won't check that out. Yeah, Taco Joe should get a Purple Heart there, Jay, man. Did you see him get shot like 2 days ago, man? I mean, he's standing off to the side and he gets hit with a rubber bullet like, you know, this big. These gigantic rubber bullets that they're shooting at people. They just love it, man. Look at how the cops are dealing with that shit. And notice how there's nothing going on where the National Guard is. And I don't know where these Marines are. I haven't seen them yet. Trump said he sent in 400 Marines, but they were guarding, the National Guard was guarding the prison there, right where we were holding our vigils for DJ Rodriguez while he was a J6er in prison there in LA. They're guarding the prison, you know. They're guarding the federal buildings. And there's nothing going on there unless you want to deal with National Guard or the Marines. So, all right, I'm almost done with everything that's happened. The House of Representatives, LaMonica McIver, the big, large red woman that tried to break into the ICE facility and then was let go, is now facing 17 years in prison. We got Pam Bondi filing charges on her finally. Everybody was a little pissed off that only the Newark, New Jersey mayor got charges for that, but LaMonica McIver is now facing up to 17 years in prison for her shenanigans at the ICE facility there in New Jersey. So it's all coming around. I guess it takes a couple days now for things to happen. And hey, Glory B, good to see you. Glory B was in DC showing us like the setups, the things that are getting set up there, the grandstand. It's going to be quite the event. Glory B, we can't wait to watch your stream from there. And I just find it ironic that FJB came in when he was elected. What was his thing? It was Build Back Better. And I can't think of one thing that he built or anything that he brought back better. You know, I mean, he didn't. He made promises and broke all of them. And Trump made all these promises. And then every time he tries to keep his promises, he gets sued. You know, they're running him through the courts. This can't continue on. Whatever is going haywire right now with our court systems has got to end. It just cannot continue with the way that it's continuing right now. Trump had his first 100 days, 250 lawsuits that he has to deal with, man. And I know he's not dealing with it. He just puts a guy on it. But, I mean, the expense to the American patriots to keep the promises that we elected into office, these are expenses that we should not have to be footing, man. If you sue, I don't know, is it still the case where if you bring a lawsuit against somebody and it gets thrown out, do you got to pay the other people's attorney's fees? I don't think so. I think they did away with that a long time ago. If that's how it used to be, I don't know, man. It just can't keep going on this way. We got bigger fish to fry to keep things happening in this country. And then RFK Jr. just let 17 CDC people go who were in charge of deciding what vaccines we should take. And he hired Robert Malone, that doctor that we all know with the big bushy beard, who came out to the People's Convoy and talked directly to us in person. And all these good patriots, they're putting them in charge there. RFK, if they didn't self-deport already, RFK is just getting rid of them. And I got to tell you, man, RFK is quietly kicking butt at the department, the National Institute of Health, man. Okay, let's get into these protests that are going on, man. All right on, man. Let's fry them fish. Glory be. You're painting now. That's cool. I like that little video you did with the gnome houses or whatever you called them there. That was cool. I would love to live in one of them. If I could, like, shrink myself down and live in one of them houses, that would be cool. So, what we're finding out, the riots were happening in LA now for 6 days in a row, okay? And that's kind of where they started up. The first whole day, it was mayhem because the cops could not get control of anything. And it was mayhem. And I'm sure the mayor there had something to do with it, telling the cops to stand down, whatever. You're a cop. You're there to produce law, or, to make sure law and order and everybody's safe. And you let the mayor tell you that you can't do your job, just like the Border Patrol for 4 years. I mean, I cannot imagine keeping a Border Patrol job if you're not allowed to do your job for 4 years under Joe Biden. But a lot of guys did. And, the LAPD allowed this to get out of hand, okay? And during Trump's first presidency, a lot of this stuff happened in Minneapolis, all across the country, Seattle, Portland and stuff. And Trump didn't do anything because he was probably a little gun shy of bringing in National Guard troops to a city against that city's will. But after the head of the LAPD said, we need help, we're not able to control this at all, Trump set in the National Guard there, and they backed up the LAPD, But in the meantime, they're just herding these people around. They're looting all over the place. Like after the normal zombies go home, they got these thugs that are coming out and spray painting everything. And they're insisting that this is a peaceful protest. They're marching down the road saying, this is a peaceful protest. And you'll notice that nobody has an original thought in their mind in these things. They're listening to these cheer coaches that tell them what to say and stuff. And they're saying this is a peaceful protest as they're spraying granite buildings and brick and everything with graffiti, while they're throwing chunks of concrete. There's some shocking footage out of LA where these cops were stuck under a bridge because they let the zombies take control of the upper part of the bridge. They couldn't get out from under the bridge because they were throwing concrete chunks at them, actually hitting them and stuff, man. I mean, this is ridiculous. You would think these cops would be smarter than that, but they're not, okay? In addition to just their vulgar words that they're saying, they're screaming. Yeah, let's define peaceful, Debbie Robinson, right? They changed the meaning of the words. I guess this is a peaceful protest according to them now, right? Amazing. So I think, like, let's see what we got here. It's all about the propaganda. It's all about the propaganda here. And here, they got their shot. This is the shot. This was all over everywhere the day after they took it. This is like the picture of the gallows at J6. This is going to be the picture that will define this whole event right here, man. And that's what it's all about, man. All these people work for free. The ones that are getting paid come out at night and create mayhem and stuff. And isn't it ironic? They're all screaming, Trump's destroying America, as they go out and actually destroy America. Setting cars on fire. So in LA, you can just dial up a robot car to your location to take you, where you want to go, like a Uber ride. Well, they did that, and they set them all on fire, man. ACB says they arrested the guy handing out shields and supplies. Right, yeah, truckloads, pickup truckloads of riot gear were being handed out to these people. So watch the riots. More people are waking up once they actually see what's going on there. In the meantime, they just keep promoting all this, and this is actually what we're dealing with. Losers, vaccinated losers on mini bikes. This is and the whole government can't handle this. This could be handled in one day off. One day of blue flu, okay? Cops take one day off. We could handle this, but we don't. We're law and order. Waymo cars, is that what they're called, Jay? And then they take the civilization, all the cool things that you have in your cities there, and they use them against you. In the meantime, these guys are riding around on Sears mini bikes. And there have been a lot of arrests happening, man. New York is not putting up with it. I saw Nick Shirley last night in New York City. The cops are not putting up with it whatsoever in New York City. That's because Eric Adams is in charge. The Democrats came after Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, because he complained about the illegals in his city. And they went after him. They'll go after whoever stands out against it, man. And then we're finding out that there are 10 million people in LA, and 1 million of them are illegal, okay? So when you do census, the amount of the amount of people you get to represent you in the House of Representatives is based on the population of those areas, right? So if we take 1 million people out of LA, that means they lose 4 seats in Congress. And in addition to, I don't know how many they're going to lose in their state House of Representatives there. So they've been using these illegals to inflate the numbers of representatives that these areas get, man. Yeah, Priscilla, he was in the thick of it yesterday on his own with both hands full. And he had like yellow Gatorade poured on him. I think he was making the best of that. And then the cops ushered him out of there. They said, this is getting too intense. And they ushered Nick out of there. So we'll see about that yellow Gatorade. I don't think that was yellow Gatorade, and the cops were keeping the people in line there. I don't know what happened after that, but we'll see. This is the clown show that's going on, the complete mockery of our law and order system. Yeah, Carol Burton, I don't think they should have the Olympics in L.A. I don't think they should. How many billions of dollars is the federal government going to give L.A. so that they can have the Olympics there? And just make a mockery of that, too, man. I don't watch the Olympics anyways anymore, you know. I don't want to see a male boxer beating up a female. I don't want to see their perverted opening. I don't watch it. It's not what I'm into at all. And I feel sorry for all these athletes that, you know, they try to become something and become an Olympian and earn a medal, but I can't watch it anymore. It's repulsive. It isn't just sports anymore. It's their agenda. It's woven right into the whole thing, man. Where we got to accept this fairy tale agenda on their worldview and stuff, man. I'm not doing it. I ain't watching it. And if more people would do that, I mean, just don't even click on it. I can't watch football. I used to love football, man. I can't watch baseball. Remember what they did in baseball? They shut baseball down, man. They didn't let fans come to the games. They played games in the stadiums, but they wouldn't let people come to the game during COVID. And you know what the fans did? The really retarded ones paid to have a poster board of their face set in the seats. I mean, how retarded is that? When I saw that, I was like, we are at a new level of stupid here in this country, man. Unbelievable. It just goes on and on. It is insanity, isn't it, Debbie? It's insanity. And here's like all the stuff we got going on here, man. This is a Ben Garrison cartoon from, I don't know, 3 days ago or something. You know, we're all the air is sucked out of the room about the Free Palestine stuff, the genocide going on there. I mean, so many, the trans fatigue, we got foreign wars, we got climate change, all that's still going on. It's just lunacy that is just trying, if they repeat it over and over and over again, and they're going on 16 years of repeating this stuff now, that it's just it ain't gonna happen. It ain't happening in this country, man. Because the strongest weapon in the United States is a patriotic American. Amen, hallelujah, glory to God. They've been trying to repeat the lies for 16 years, right? 16 years ago was when Obama got elected. I would argue that it's been going on longer than this, man. But climate change, Al Gore was 25 years ago, was telling us all those lies. Look how ridiculous that looks now, The polar bears. And they had one picture that they kept showing us of a polar bear on a piece of ice, 9/11. We got that, We still haven't gotten to the bottom of this, man. Look at the Pentagon. Look at the hole in the building. Where's the wings? How do you fly an airplane at 500 miles an hour at sea level into a building. It's impossible. And it's impossible. But this is how stupid they think we are. Ain't accepting it, man. Jay Jones, I will get on my bridge Saturday and wave flags. That's what we all should do, man. That's what we should do. Ignore these retards. Ignore these libtards. Let them frolic in their own stench. And watch the thin blue line try to deal with it. Because they're the problem, too. We're giving these police departments millions and millions of dollars. We are giving away our freedoms so that they can walk around armed amongst us. And they abuse that power all over the place. Just happened in my hometown. Some kid had a gun pulled on him for a traffic violation, man. YouTube is full of these videos of cops just going insane over a stop sign violation or a lane change or a following too closely. If you can get out of a traffic citation these days without a felony or getting shot, consider yourself lucky, man. There's one that'll make you think a little. When someone says, you won't believe what I saw on the news. Correct. You're right. I will not believe what you just saw on the news. All right, Carol. Are they entertaining us with laughy faces? If they could only see themselves. And really, what they need is Jesus, man. What they need is God. Jesus came as a light unto the world. And whoever believes in him doesn't have to walk in darkness. I mean, this is why we can see this stuff. And then we're supposed to take these people seriously, man. They're screaming. You got to give these illegal aliens due process. They're screaming it. They're going out of their way. They're walking laps around the city. So that they're walking laps around the cities, riding their mini bikes, doing burnouts, burning flags, attacking police officers, harassing cops on horses, taking a beating, getting shot by rubber bullets, getting tear gassed because they want due process for the illegal aliens. But they arrested a former president 4 times. And then they don't want us to arrest criminals and illegal aliens. I mean, it's absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. And this is what God does to a country right before judgment's going to come down. So, I mean, we got to be appealing to heaven. And I do often. They're saying that Trump's using the military as a political prop. Yeah, well, what was this? What was this? Here we got Marines standing behind Biden while in the Independence Hall in Philadelphia, where our Declaration of Independence was signed. And they say that we're using military as political props, man. Priscilla, you got it. Bingo. Bingo. That's what we're dealing with here. This has happened to nations across history. Right before they come down, they go insane, man. Jerusalem is the one I'm the most familiar with, and the people of Jerusalem went insane right before the city was leveled to the ground by the Roman army. The leaders of that city. There was 3 different factions that were in charge of Jerusalem while they were under siege, and 2 of them were prancing around in women's clothing. They were stealing the jewelry from the women in the city that died or were in prison, and they pranced around in women's clothing, literally. That's all recorded in the book by a guy named Josephus. All right. We'll take that down. And then we got this Gavin Newsom character, literally fiddling while his city burns, man. Where is he? Where is Gavin? He is not helping any of this. He's not coming up with any solutions. It happens over and over. We used to have an excellent migrant worker program in this country. And a lot of times I just watched some Hollywood lady saying, you know, the illegals take care of our children. They bake our meat, they cook our meals, they clean our houses, they take care of my pool. Where, you know, we have a system where you can get a green card and come into this country and work legally. And then you go home for a while, and then you can come back for a while. It still works. It just shows their hypocrisy. They make it sound like we got to keep these illegals here. And furthermore, we got, you know, the numbers are always changing on how many illegals that Joe Biden let into this country. It's anywhere from 10 to 20 million people, okay? But there's posts from back when Obama was president where he's saying that there was 13 million illegals in our country during his presidency, and he deported 3 million of them, all right? So Democrat presidents have done this in the past. Uh-oh. Thought I saw a spider jumping on me. Senator Padilla, is that the guy that was interrupting that press conference today? This catch and release thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is on that. The bail system was abused seriously, especially for the J6ers. So I do believe that there should be a way to bail out of prison. You shouldn't have to wait in prison until you're found innocent with a trial. I mean, that doesn't make sense. But anyways, so there's 20 million illegals from Biden. There was 13 million illegals during Obama. Lots of illegals got in during Trump's first presidency. But finally, it finally seems like the pendulum isn't swinging more and more and more left anymore. It seems like that pendulum has stopped, has almost stopped, and it's sooner or later it's going to start swinging back our way to a time of common sense in this country, a time of law and order, where we can start addressing the problems that we're facing, addressing the mental illness that's everywhere in this country right now, addressing the homelessness issues, addressing the over-regulation of our jobs and our taxes and the care of our elderly people. All these are real problems that we should be focusing on, but no. What are we talking about? We're talking about zombies on mini bikes in LA. And then now they're saying it's going to be in every city. But you know what? I think we should just go out and wave flags and let them have their little psycho party and and just laugh at them, man. I'm watching it all on live streams, and I'll tell you, man, the chats are not in favor of these people. I think more and more people are waking up to what's going on and the absolute lunacy that this country is in, man. And it's hard to wake people up. It's hard to tell somebody that they've been fooled for so long and that everything that they believed to be true isn't really true, that they've been lied to, they've been propagandized, they've been told to go to these people for healing. And these people are doing nothing but getting them out of medical program that gives them bonuses at the end of the year for however many people they can sign up on a drug. It's out in the open now. You don't even got to really investigate it. It's out there. We're finding out about all of it, man. So I heard they arrested 350 illegals out in LA. We still got Tina Peters sitting in jail. I mean, we got real issues that we should be in charge of. Oh, Trump put a guy in charge of the Bureau of Prisons that is a pardoned, somebody who went to prison over some drug charges. He's not a J6er, but he did put somebody in charge of the Bureau of Prisons who was probably going to be a friendly. And we have that Ed Martin guy. He's the head of the pardons going through D.C., and we have somebody called a pardon czar. So, I mean, all that's up in operation and running right now. Robert Kennedy is up and running right now. Kristi Noem is up and running right now. Tulsi Gabbard, up and running right now. So if they want to keep, telling people that the only thing that's going on are these goofy protests that change every week, and from hour to hour, minute to minute, you don't know what they're protesting, because one time they're protesting about illegals, then they're chanting Palestinian, they don't even know what they're protesting. It's almost like a libtard mating ritual. You know how those two birds, before they mate, they do like a dance. The one jumps up and puffs his chest out and shakes his thing on his neck and puts his feathers up. This is like a courting ritual for the libtards that we're watching on YouTube. And it's hilarious if you know what's going on. But in the meantime, we got to keep our heads screwed on straight. We got to get these rhinos out of here. And we got a big election coming up in 2026. The big rhino hunt. Yeah, nobody works over there. They all got all the time in the world to just hang out and do their little rah-rah protest thing. And the protesting does nothing, man. All the cops are doing is herding them from one block to the other and destroying the city, man. I mean, there's garbage all over the place. They beat the curbs apart so they had rocks to throw at people. They're just trashing their own city. So you're paying the police department to manage the trashing of your city. We'll see what happens in all the cities across America now. All that money to pay for safety, are the cops going to succeed? Are the cops going to keep violence and damage from happening to these cities? You'd think with all the money we're paying them, they'd be able to. We'll see. We will see, won't we, man? Hiya, Tammy Monday, Indiana Patriot there. Good to see you, Tammy. Seen a lot of people I haven't seen in a while out there, but a lot of you I do see out in the chats, and it's pretty cool, man. Just ripping on these libtards in the chats. Well, I think I'm winding down here. We did about an hour here. This is what puts the fear of God into these people, though. This is from the Department of Homeland Security, man. Help your country and yourself. Report all foreign invaders, which is what they are. They are invaders in this country. Let's call it what it is. They broke into this country illegally. The head of our government, the commander-in-chief, facilitated it. And they're running around with national flags, man. flags that aren't American, and they're burning the American flags. It's an atrocity, patriots. Assimilate. That's what you're supposed to do here, man. Yeah, Tammy Mondays, there's stuff going on. I'm sure there somewhere, right? We'll see. We'll see. The Libtards have been saying, they've been showing this map with all these dots all over the country, you know, but they make the dot really big to make it seem like they're going to be in more places than they're actually at. And really, when you think about it, everything that we're watching in LA is only happening in a 6-block radius. You don't got to, just don't pay attention to it. It's not as crazy as they're trying to make it look, but the mainstream media sure wants to play it up and make you scared so that you keep watching them, man. And then in the meantime, we're all dealing with our struggles, our financial hardships, with sicknesses in the family, all kinds of stuff. That's right, Debbie Robinson. No fear. We got Jesus. Follow the streamers. Support the streamers, too, if you can. I know we all can't, fork over any money, but a lot of you have, and a lot of you do a good thing in keeping our streamers on the job. LA, all the problems were in 3 places, right? But if you notice, when a streamer goes around the block to get on the other side of something, there's nothing going on the other side of that block. Last night, Nick Shirley was in the thick of it, man. But the cop ushered him out a half a block down the road. There wasn't anybody down there protesting. All the cameras are where the carnage and the chaos is, right? So just keep that in mind if this stuff comes into your local town. And let's hold our police forces and prosecutors accountable, man. We want prosecutions if there's vandalism and violence happening. We don't want graffiti all over our buildings. We want peace and we want law and order, man. And all you libtards out there, assimilate. Get with the program. Become an American, a proud American. If you don't like it, get out. There's no excuse to sit around. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. All they do is they're just screaming, there's problems, man. But us patriots, we're the ones coming up with solutions. We want solutions. We're working on solutions. We're standing up to facilitate solutions. So, yeah, God bless you, patriots. We got a beautiful country here. Let's not forget that. We got beautiful families. And we got an awesome God. We got the one true holy God. And just try not to step in this, just like I think we're all gonna. I'm just kind of at the mode where I think I see what's going on. I think we got patriots are in control, and I'm enjoying the show. I'm gonna try not to step in the chaos that's out there, and I think we're all gonna enjoy the ending of this. But it is going to be quite the reality show for a while here. So, right on, Jay Jones. Time to be loud and proud. I support Trump. I support this presidency, this cabinet, and I want Congress to back them up. And we'll take care of them on the 2026 election. But now's the time to start working on all that stuff. Amen, Debbie Robinson. Love and prayers to all you Patriot family out there. And let's just enjoy the show. This is Jericho, over and out.